Of all the people I could have an issue with, that person is Brandon Champion. Now let me explain to you why I have an issue with him. See, around this time a couple months ago, I called Brandon out and asked him to a match at All Out War, which he accepted. The match became a no DQ submission match, and, well, Brandon won. And I accepted the defeat like a normal person and told Brandon that he was an amazing competitor and how he was the better man that day and how I had nothing but respect for him. But then recently, something happened that made me take the respect that I had for him and throw it out the window. As he opened his mouth while I was in the middle of a comment war on Instagram with our champion, Austin Anarchy, and basically said that the only reason he thought our match was big, it's kind of a long story to explain what exactly went down. He said that our match was big for him only because he, quote unquote, took someone who sucked at wrestling and actually made him decent for once. Those comments have, they've really just rubbed me the wrong way. I've been thinking about them nonstop this whole month, and it just... And speaking of the champion, Austin Anarchy, Brandon somehow gets the opportunity to face Austin for the title, and just like that, he became the #1 contender for the title. And I say somehow because at what point did Brandon deserve a shot at the world title? Because if you really think about it, before episode 9 of BWGP Voltage, Brandon hadn't won a single match since All Out War. I mean, really, he lost to the returning Kid, he lost in an open challenge to the Extreme Champion Raven, and then at BWGP Chaos, he lost to Anthony Herring, which is a good match, by the way. At no point during the stretch from All Out War to Chaos did Brandon Champion show that he deserves to be a #1 contender for the world title. But at episode 9, he was given a match against Demo, and Brandon won, which made him the #1 contender. Then he was put into a gauntlet match where if he was to win that, then he would still be the #1 contender if he still won. And he did win, and now he's the #1 contender. See, I've got an issue with that gauntlet match. First of all, Brandon, you really beat no one of relevance in that match aside from, Raven. Like, seriously, look at all the people you faced. You faced our general manager, Demo, in what was his 3rd match since coming out of retirement, sort of. You faced Exodus Creed, who was wrestling in his 1st match in God knows how long. And then you faced Drew Stokes. The fact that I can't think of anything for Drew Stokes should probably show how irrelevant he is. But the final opponent you faced, and the only notable one you faced, was Raven. The only person in this company to hold the BWGP World and Extreme titles at the same time. Even doing it twice, as a matter of fact. And then, speaking of Exodus Creed, on episode 10, which I just saw, he beat the champion, Austin Anarchy, and now he's added into the title match between you and Austin, Brandon. That may suck, but what's even worse was that you were the guest referee for that match, so it must have really hurt you as well, counting that 1, 2, 3, adding him into the match. The second issue I have with that gauntlet match is that apparently I was supposed to be the first person to face Brandon in that gauntlet match. And when my music played, I didn't come out. And people said that I bailed and that Brandon Champion beat me by way of forfeit. But no, he did not beat me by way of forfeit, okay? And the reason I didn't come out when my music played was because I wasn't even there. I was never told by Demo that I was going to be wrestling in episode 9. So I was at a gym in Cleveland training, getting myself a bit better. And like I said, Brandon had the balls to start out episode 10 by saying that he beat me by way of forfeit. So yeah, I was not at episode 9, Brandon, okay? So you did not beat me by way of forfeit. But how about at episode 11, you go one-on-one with me again, so then you can claim that you beat me. That's right, Brandon, I'm challenging you to a match at episode 11. No special stipulations, nothing. Me versus you, no countouts, and no disqualifications. I'll be waiting for a response, Brandon, and if you do accept it, hopefully I'll be able to prove to you that I don't suck at wrestling, and hopefully I'll be able to prove to the champion, Austin, that I can win matches on my own. And once the one and only Dominic Spisak starts winning matches on his own, maybe then I'll start getting more respect around here.